ESPN2's Fire on Ice from the venerable house of hockey called the Boston Garden. Tonight, the Los Angeles Kings and the Boston Bruins meet for the second and final time this season. Hello, everybody. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement. Great to have you with us tonight as the teams take the ice. Wayne Gretzky continues to be the story.
Gary, I really think over the last couple of weeks, if anything, if it's possible, Wayne Gretzky's concentration level has actually risen a little bit. And I've always believed about Wayne Gretzky, the more clearly defined the objective, the more he focuses. Well, it doesn't get much clearer than this, does it? He's only 3 goals behind Gordie Howe, and some of the names are pretty impressive that he has passed along the way. Phil Esposito is on that list. Marcel Dion is also on the list. Bobby Hull, Mike Gartner is still active, but Wayne Gretzky is only 3 goals behind Gordie Howe, and he is a focused individual. I would say as focused as he has ever been in his career right now.
And he will need to be tonight because this Boston team and this building has been a very tough place for him to score. So the question as we go into tonight's game, will it be the night Wayne Gretzky ties Gordie Howe or maybe even sets the new mark? Fire on Ice, ESPN2's exclusive coverage of the National Hockey League is brought to you by Midas. The Midas way, the way it should be. By the MASH from Fila, change the game. And by Honda Motorcycles. Come in for red hot deal days through April 30th. Honda, come ride with us. Welcome back to the Garden, everybody. These teams meeting for the second time. The Boston Bruins came away with a victory in Los Angeles in overtime 3-2 during their last road trip. Pat Conacher and Joey Juneau on the face-off, and we are underway. They have Juneau and Stevie Leach, who's back in action for the Boston Bruins, working with Dave Reed on the first line. Pat Conacher comes out and makes the start at center for Los Angeles. Marty McSorley, who's playing a wing to start this game, is out with Warren Reichel on the other side of Pat Conacher.
A little bit of muscle on the wings.
Muscle are up, baby. This is a corners kind of building, right? Marty McSorley clears it back to center. Glenn Featherstone and Paul Stanton starting on defense. That's Reichel with the puck. Warren Reichel flips it ahead. McSorley couldn't get it. Featherstone knocked it away. Boston Bruins are built on defense. The Los Angeles Kings are built on offense. Casey held it up behind the net. Stanton back to get it.
No matter how you try to split this game up and dissect it, you hit the nail on the head. This is LA's offense against Boston's defense.
Gretzky's got it. Wayne Gretzky out on the ice for a shift for the great one. Blue line shot. Casey makes the save. Stanton tried to tip it away. Back into the middle all alone. Yari Curry save made again. 2 good quick saves made by John Casey.
Wayne Gretzky was going for the deflection on that one. Paul Stanton did a good job of locking him out and not allowing him to get in front when Yari Curry took his shot.
Rob Stauber is starting in net at the other end. They played last night in Hartford. They won 4-1. Kelly Rudy was the winner in that game. So Stauber gets the start tonight. Stauber's had 2 ties in his last 2 starts. He has started 4 of the last 6 games for the Kings. Sweeney back to get it. Don Sweeney with Ray Bourque on defense make the turn. Neely is out. Neely, Oates, and Kartalnov on the line for the Bruins. And down the middle, Kartalnov! Save, rebound! Kartalnov had it knocked away. Stauber comes up big. Neely! Score! Kartalnov!
Well, the LA Kings may have started this hockey game with their muscle on the wings, but the Boston Bruins came out with the second shift with their scoring power. Oates, Kvartalnov, and Neely. And the LA Kings running all over the place. Neely had a chance after Kvartalnov, and then Kvartalnov on Neely's rebound. And the Los Angeles Kings have to try to find a way to play solid defense against the line of Oates, Neely, and Kvartalnov. If they don't, this game may be over real fast.
Kartalnov gets his 8th goal in the 26 games he's played this season for the big club as he has been up and down. He keeps his scoring streak alive as well. He's had 4 goals and 3 assists in the last 5 games.
That is all Brian Sutter wants him to do. He said a lot of people have this misconception of us asking Dmitry Kvartalnov to check, to back check, to play defense, and that's why we send him to the minors. He said it's very simple. If he doesn't score, he gets sent to the minors. That's what we want him to do, score.
Lesson learned, I think. Neely and Oates, the assists at 143. Murray moves it in. Murray taken out by Zhitnik, played by Stauber to the side. Robert Long got pinned up on the boards. Robitaille, their leading goal scorer, lost it. Murray tried to center, did, fanned on, coming down the middle as Zhitnik got in front of it. Great chance for Joseph Stumple right there, wound up got a piece of that, but not enough. 1:43 the time of the goal. Kartalnov from Neely and Adam Oates. Oates continuing with the great assist numbers this season. Donato dropped it off, deflected back out to center. For Adam Oates, that is his 60th assist. Robitaille. Luke Robitaille trying to go wide side. Jim Pack coming over to get it. Pack acquired along with McSorley in that deal, of course, with Pittsburgh. Robitaille held it in momentarily. Donato got it back. Donato, Smolinski, and Juneau. Rob Stauber the save, squeezed it shut. Back to center. Paul Stanton back to get it. Another former Pittsburgh Penguin. Pat Conacher. Conacher dumped at center as he went over the skate. McSorley in for Reichel, who is onside. Stanton will chase it down. Paul Stanton pushed it up to the point. Blake shot, save, right through the middle, score! Pat Conacher ties the game at 1.
Wow, the Kings take a page from the Boston Bruins book. What the Bruins try to do, by and large, game in and game out, is just drill it from the point and have people going for the rebounds. That's why the Bruins lead the league in shots on goal. That's all Rob Blake did. But it was kind of a squibber, wasn't it? It sort of looked end over end. You can see two Kings going to the net. Maybe it was deflected on the way by Warren Reichel. But Pat Conacher was there for the rebound. Remember, I mentioned on the first shift how Wayne Gretzky was prevented from getting to the front? Well, that's Paul Stanton trying to hold back Pat Conacher. He kept Gretzky on his first shift from getting to the net. That time he did not keep Pat Conacher from getting to the net, and that's how the Kings scored on the rebound.
Conacher gets his 10th of the year at 3:08. Blake gets the only assist. We are opening this game up in a very unusual way for a game at the Boston Garden. We've already had 9 shots on goal. The Kings have 5, the Bruins have 4, and they're 2 goals up. And we've only played 3.5 minutes.
Kings will take that.
Yeah, that's their kind of game. Not what Brian Sutter wants to see, though, from his defense-oriented Bruins. Ray Bourque, the leading shot man, to Reed. Reed shot it over the net. He had Rob Stauber down, but he couldn't find underneath. Juneau had it knocked away by Pat Conacher. Sweeney back in his own end. McSorley chasing deeper. Ray Bourque back to get it. Bourque, the leading defensive scorer in the National Hockey League. There are the shots. Bourque rushes it up. Leach with him. Drops it for Juneau. To Bourque. Right straight through. Stauber covers it up. Ray Bourque just jumped up. Stauber had to make a save in a 1-1 game. The seedings coming into tonight's action, you see how close it is, both at the top for positioning and then down in that 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, Yeehaw. And don't think that it won't matter to guys like Brian Sutter. You saw that the Bruins were tied to 77 points with Montreal and with the Devils. Don't think it won't matter to them who they play. They are going to want to be in a certain position to play the team that they think they match up best against in the first round.
Ray Bourque had his second shot of the period already. Dump back for Cam Neely. Neely leading the league's goal scorers with 46. One ahead of Ray Shepherd of Detroit coming into tonight's game, having a great year. Neely holding it in. Neely dropped it. Shot wide by Adam Oates. Sweeney, the defenseman, stepped up. Here's a chance for the break. Good play by Adam Oates to get back on the coverage. Near side for Donnelly. Donnelly trying to sweep it to McReynolds in the corner. Had to dump it in, and the Kings have to clear the zone. Don Sweeney and Ray Bourque proving to be one of the better tandems on defense in the National Hockey League this season. Yari Curry stepped up. Curry, Donnelly, and Gretzky the line for the Los Angeles Kings. Bruins back, Neely in. Neely from Sweeney. Kartalnov, who has the Boston goal, picks up the loose puck. Kartalnov to Adam Oates. Never got through. Deflected by Waters right on his own goaltender. And it was hung on to by Stauber. The Western Conference looks like this, Bill. You see Los Angeles tied with Anaheim, 3 out of a playoff spot.
Well, that's why all of the focus on Wayne Gretzky, I think, somewhat clouds the issue for the LA Kings. They are in a playoff fight for their lives. Everybody is talking about Wayne beating Gordie Howe's record, but the most important thing to Wayne and to the rest of the team, even though Wayne may think more about the record right now, the most important thing is what you're looking at, making the playoffs. Boy, they have what it takes to make the playoffs. They're only 3 points behind San Jose, and when you've got Wayne Gretzky on your team, it's hard to bet against them, even at this stage.
We were talking, Bill, before the game. He has never missed the playoffs. Bourque shot deflected. What a sin it would be if he was to miss it in the year that he breaks Gordie Howe's mark. Dumped down was Dixon Ward by Bourque. Sweeney back to get it. Yari Curry behind the net for Gretzky. Gretzky, Ward, and Curry. Yari Curry lets it go to the point. Zhitnik shot. Tipped. Save. Rebound. Casey. It's a goal. Dixon Ward out in front, I believe. The last one to touch it. And the Kings take a 2-1 lead.
Well, boy, I watched Dixon Ward for about 10 minutes work on the blade of his stick before this game started, and he used all of it on this one. If I'm not mistaken, the rebound will come off the Zhitnik shot. It will come off right here off Casey, and Ward with a little backhand push
that turned into a monster for Casey. It just sort of dribbled down his pads in between his legs and behind him. But give Dixon Ward some credit for making contact with this. He was in a bad spot. He almost had to spear it. Weird. And the LA Kings will take Weird right now all the way to the bank.
Dixon Ward came from Vancouver not so long ago, his 10th goal of the season. And the Kings have a 2-1 lead as Dixon Ward puts it in by Casey. We should note right here, John Casey's on a great streak. He is 9-0-2 in his last 11 games in net for the Bruins. He has been better than red hot.
That takes it right back to the All-Star break. He has not lost since before the All-Star game.
And his goals against 1-4-3. Now at center we got the fight. Jamie Huscroft for the Boston Bruins and Warren Reichel for the Los Angeles Kings.
Oh, Reichel's trying to find a way to tie up Huscroft's left hand. It looks like he's done that. But now it's going to be right against left. And Reichel realized that he wasn't going to be able to throw with his left hand, so he decided to go power against power. Give the nod on that one to Jamie Huscroft.
Jamie Huscroft has played this kind of role before. He could do it, and Reichel was under the pile on that one.
Well, Wayne Gretzky was a busy guy last night against the Hartford Whalers. He played just about half of the game, 26:58 his total ice time. He had 4 good scoring chances, was able to score on one of them. And he will get all kinds of ice time now, not only to break the record, but they need the playoffs so badly. We've already talked about that, and Barry Melrose has no choice but to try to wear Wayne Gretzky out.
Yep. 5 for fighting, picked up by Reichel and Huscroft. Kings are leading at 2-1. Into the zone, Robitaille. His shot saved by Casey. Rebound centered just over the net, Robert Long. Long had a great chance. John Drews out on that line with Robitaille and Long. Deflected by Stumple into the zone. Ward's goal at 5:19. Shitnik and Gretzky picking up the assist. Wayne Gretzky intercepted Stumple, and he missed it on the short side. Shot right back through the crease. Stanton on the near side. Very unusual to see the Boston Bruins at any point in any game play as wide open as they are playing right now. Pack's got it. It's as though they are trying to race with the Los Angeles Kings up and down the ice. A hit for Robitaille. Stanton ties him up. Taken into the corner by Gordy Roberts. Roberts a quick flip around. Jim Pack on the near side. Pack lost it. He paid for it dearly. Murray decked him at the blue line. The puck came outside the blue line, and Pack was on his heels, literally. And Murray saw it and leveled him. Glenn Murray.
Well, the Kings are going to have to avoid mistakes like this. On the left of your screen, Jim Pack just lost control of it. He had an out. He could have gone up the boards, but Joseph Stumple was there, and Rob Blake came back and I think threw Stumple off a little bit. The Bruins so far, Gary, haven't played their game. This might start it off right here. Glenn Murray following through on a huge crunch out at the blue line on Jim Pack. And that's the way the Bruins have to play. They play that way on the road. When you come off the road, how many times do you end up seeing a letdown? You don't play with the same discipline. You don't play the same tight defensive style. And very often it takes you a period to get your head into it. You don't play with the same amount of body conviction.
Boston's last game was in Chicago, a 4-0 shutout there. Picked up by Casey, who made 20 saves. Neely had 2 goals in that game. Glenn Wesley was hurt. He's on it tonight's game. Gary Curry's got it. Wesley went into the boards backwards and bruised a kidney. He's going to be all right, but he's probably going to miss 2 games starting with tonight. Adam Oates. Oates brings it up. Oates, the leading assists man in the National Hockey League. Wayne Gretzky coming back. Around the near side, Neely stepped up to hold it in. Cam Neely battling Dixon Ward in the corner. Kartalnov dug it out to Oates. Oates, great move around Gretzky. Shot, save, rebound, hit the crossbar. Cam Neely scores! Cam Neely on the rebound. 2-2.
Well, Brian Sutter, the Bruins coach, has obviously presented a challenge to Adam Oates and to Cam Neely and to Dmitry Kvartalnov. They have played in this first period 3 times head-to-head against the Wayne Gretzky line. We're going to have this one reviewed, it looks like. But if they're on top of their game, and Gary, there's every indication that that's Oates' move right there on Wayne Gretzky. If these guys are on top of their game, off the crossbar on this one, Neely with the rebound, no question, folks, across the line by 8 inches. That was Wayne that got it out.
Incredible. 47 goals in 42 games for Cam Neely.
Yeah, but as long as Wayne Gretzky's line is out there against Adam Oates' line, I don't know how the Kings are going to defend against them. I think Barry Melrose may have to start concentrating on keeping Wayne away from Adam.
from the Oats.
Well, I mean,
line.
the Oats line is so dominant offensively and so strong offensively when they get the puck, and that's not where Wayne's at his best. Well, I don't know. That's 3 straight shifts now that the Oats line is dominating.
This game is tied at 2-2. That one by Neely is 47th. Kartalnoff and Ray Bork get the assists. Boston keeping the heat on. Steve Leach back to Gordy Roberts. Deflected to the near side. McKim dumped it up in the air. Reed drops it back. Leach in the corner. Leach getting back from an injury that has kept him out. Reed behind the net, centered right through the crease. Boy, the Kings are having a hard time keeping up with Boston. McSorley over to Donnelly. Donnelly moving in on Featherstone. Featherstone bangs him against the boards. McSorley pinned up behind the net, wrapped out in front to Reed. Reed on the near side. This game right now in the first period may tell you hockey fans something that's not exactly well known around the league. This Boston team, for all the hitting and corner work it does, is a pretty fast team. They are not a slow hockey team.
They're not a big hockey team either.
Not big, but they do get up and down the ice. Paul Stanton sends it in. Back to get it, Robert Lung. Lung will take it around the net. Decides the other way as Juneau cut him off. Good play by Joey Juneau. Ray Bork will have to chase this down as they wave off the icing. 2-2 game. 11 minutes left to go in the first period. Shots are 9-8 in favor of the Bruins. Los Angeles Kings give up more shots than any other team in the National Hockey League. The Bruins get more shots than any other team in the National Hockey League as far as the differential is concerned between what they give up and what they get. It's a mean task for Los Angeles when you put all that together. 2-2 game.
Let me figure it out. They're in for a long night if they don't play good D, or better D than they're used to playing.
Better D than they're used to playing. Featherstone on the touch-up. That'll be an icing call despite a bad weather day here in Boston. The seats are filled here at the Garden, and they've had an early show. 2-2. There you see our light beer league leaders. Cam Neely on top has scored one here tonight. His best seasons in the past, 55 and 51 goals.
Dave Andrechuk has kind of gotten quiet over the last week, and it's allowed Cam Neely to push by him.
Off the draw in this 2-2 game. Boston wins it. Gordy Roberts sent it in wide. Jim Pack back to get it. Pack drawing a lot of attention after the deal struck that brought him from Pittsburgh to Los Angeles. There's a large Korean population in Los Angeles, and they have taken him as a hero. He is the first and only player to come out of that country in the National Hockey League. Back to get it, Roberts. Roberts around the boards. Robitaille sends it in front. Deflected wide. Good play. Had McReynolds cutting in. Joseph Stumple's got it. Stumple out. Stumple with Murray and Hughes. Roberts back to center for it. Featherstone tried to shoot it in on net. Bounced off someone along the line, and Drew's getting into it on the far side, separated.
Well, Luc Robitaille is having another terrific year. He leads the Kings in goal scoring with 36, and that in spite of the fact that he went 14 games, the longest slump of his career. This year he went 14 games without a goal. And he has really found the touch over the last few games. He is playing with Robert Long and John Drews. I mean, this line was just thrown together. Drews hardly played. Robert Long was called up from the minors. And all of a sudden, Luc Robitaille has a couple of guys to play with. And he's making the most of it.
36 goals for him this season. Tied for 10th in the National Hockey League among goal scorers. Those are our numbers at ESPN2's Fire on Ice. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement here at the Garden in Boston. Ray Bork's got it. Tomorrow night, ESPN's National Hockey Night will be Washington and over Maryland, actually, for the Washington Capitals and the Philadelphia Flyers. Tomorrow night we'll have it for you 8 o'clock on ESPN. In the corner, Conacher tied up Adam Oates. Wayne Gretzky's got it. Dropped it off for Yari Curry. Curry coming to the middle. He'll just dump it in. Gretzky out for his third shift of the game. Had it taken away by Ray Bork. Bork will be out there when Gretzky's out there. Bork gets the puck back. Flipped it up. Conacher tried to get it. Blake does. Gretzky. Middle for Curry. Tipped away. Boston. Kartalnoff has got one of the 2 goals. Up the board. Zhitnik stepped up to help and did. Held it in for Gretzky. Gretzky, Bork right on him. Yari Curry's pass intercepted to Zhitnik. Zhitnik moves it in. Sweeney tried to get him and missed. Gretzky was on the near side and Oates broke it up. Gretzky was all alone. He's in the crease. Gretzky knocked down by Ray Bork.
Only 4 Bruins around him.
Bork's right in the jersey of 99. Here in this first period, huh?
You can say what you want about Steve Kasper having played here. Great defensive center. He used to check Wayne Gretzky. You can say what you want about Dave Poulin being here for a few years. To me, the biggest problem Wayne Gretzky has had is not only the size of the building, but the fact that Ray Bork has been here as long as Wayne Gretzky has played against the Bruins. He is the guy that gets to play against Wayne every shift. that his coach can get him out there.
He just watches the ice, and when he sees 99 come over, he comes over.
You need mobility, all right? That's what you need against Wayne Gretzky. You need to be able to think the game, hopefully, as quickly and as well as he does. There's no other defenseman that's playing today that thinks any quicker than Ray Bourque or any better.
Makes for a great matchup. Rob Stauber, the starter, in goal for the Kings. Got it around the boards. 2-on-1. Donnelly coming. Donnelly with McSorley. Donnelly shot. Save Casey. Juno picks up the rebound, and a penalty coming up on Glenn Featherstone. Featherstone will be called as he hauled down the shooter. There's Donnelly getting up in the corner.
And Mike Donnelly turned on the afterburners. He is the fastest King. And on a 2-on-1, he does the smart thing. Look, he keeps trucking for the net. He doesn't let up. And Featherstone gave him a little pull as he was trying to get by John Casey. But how many times do you see a guy in a 2-on-1 let up and start coasting? He'll plant his skates and look for the pass. Donnelly just kept on wheeling and did a good job by drawing the penalty.
Now Wayne Gretzky will come out to work on the Los Angeles power play. Gretzky picks up a ton of assists on the power play. More assists than goals, in fact. He has added an assist tonight, 111 points for him, 78 assists on the season. And there you see the numbers on the Los Angeles power play. They have had more power play chances per game than anyone else in the league. Same was true last year. Casey the save on Robitaille. Robitaille tipped it twice on John Casey. LA on the power play. Boston killing him off at an 83% rate, 7th best in the league, pinned up for a face-off in the zone.
Well, Wayne Gretzky wants to avoid one thing, I think, more than anything this year, and that is being only the second guy in 45 years to win the scoring championship and miss the playoffs. He is the all-time scoring leader for total points in the National Hockey League with Gordie Howe #2, but you can see Ray Bourque is in some pretty select company as well. He just passed Bobby Hull to move into 22nd spot, and he is behind Mario Lemieux right now.
What a name to pass. Wayne Gretzky, 3 shy, the 8:01 mark in goals scored. Cleared out by Ray Bourque. Great tip pass by Reed. Reed was facing his own goaltender, so rather than try and spin around, he had Ray Bourque facing him. He just touched the puck to Ray Bourque, and Bourque cleared it out. Starting it up, Blake. Dumped on the far side to McSorley, Gary Curry, rather, who sends it in. On the near side, Gretzky kicked it up in the air. Adam Oates over to get it. Oates will start it out. Short-handed. Sweeney. They had a 3-on-2 for a moment. Adam Oates took it away from Robitaille. Curry gets it back to Zhitnik. Minute 12 remaining on this power play for the Kings. Game tied at 2 with 7:13 to go here in the first period in Boston. Stauber started to come out, leaves it though. Jari Kurri comes back to get it. The power play this season for the Los Angeles Kings, 23 power play goals for Luc Robitaille, who leads not only the Kings, but he leads the league in power play goals. Gretzky's got 12. Jari Kurri's picked up 13. 10 have been picked up by Zhitnik. Boston, good penalty killing job, frees it up to Donato. Donato just drops it back out for Stanton. Nice job here by Brian Smolinski, who was working up front on that with Ted Donato. Jari Kurri. Kings still on a power play, but having trouble getting it wound up. Kurri starts out. Smolinski tapped him from behind. Kurri has to go back to get it. Boston's forcing the play at center ice. Both teams changed it up with 23 on the power play. Zhitnik kicked Robert Long in the back. Puck stayed out of the zone. Now it's tipped back in, but offside. Want to remind you, National Hockey Night tomorrow. It's Friday. It's National Hockey Night on ESPN, and we will have the Philadelphia Flyers with Eric Lindros taking on the Washington Capitals. Jim Schoenfeld, our former compatriot, on the booth behind the bench. 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific tomorrow night. National Hockey Night on ESPN. We'll also keep you updated on other games. Devils won last night in Florida. 3-2 victory. These are all later starts. We are down to crunch time. Under 20 games for most teams in the National Hockey League remaining on the schedule.
You hit March 1st. Everybody starts it. First of all, what most players start thinking of, depending on just how solid they are, is trading deadline. And it was March 19th, but they pushed it back to March 21st. But most of the players that are secure start thinking about the playoffs, but there are others that are thinking about the trading deadline.
Stauber leaves it. 6 seconds left on the first power play of the game. Los Angeles had it, but did nothing with it. It's over. Good job by the Boston Bruins killing it off. Featherstone back out on the ice. Sador gets it back into the zone. John Drews the shot. Casey makes the save. McSorley's shot deflected by Bourque behind the net. Drews comes out himself all alone. Shot. Casey got a piece of that with a glove and knocked it to the wide side corner. Juno trying to clear it out, could not. Robert Long holds it in. Long. Donnelly Sador, it's even strength now. Donnelly in the corner. Joey Juneau got a piece. Tipped behind the net by Sweeney. Bork over to get it up to Featherstone. Featherstone hit by Sador, but swung around and got it out of the zone. 5:30 left to go here in the first period at the Garden, with the score tied at 2. Kartalnoff and Neely for Boston. Conacher and Ward for Los Angeles. The Kings, as you see, leading in the shots. Nice centering pass. Murray looking. Murray out there with Stumple and Hughes. A checking line. Stumple set up in front. Shot save. Stauber. A jam shot by Hughes, and now he and Reichel push each other around. Huscroft moved in. Huscroft has already been in a fight with Warren Reichel.
Yeah, Warren Reichel has played mostly left wing this year. I think that's probably why he was out of position for a moment. He finally got back in, but for a while there were only 2 defensemen and 3 Bruins down low. Here is Reichel finally trying to help out behind the net. But he had been outstanding right beside Robert Long out at the blue line, where the left winger would usually stand to take care of the point man.
15th game of the season for Rob Stauber. He is 3-6-4. A great save percentage at .910, but a goals against up there at 3.54. He has seen not a lot of action, with Kelly Hrudey playing in 51 games this year.
But when he does, watch for him to lead the rush.
Get that out and go.
He will just surprise the hell out of you. I mean, he'll grab it, he'll drop it to the ice and just start wheeling up ice. He's obviously a frustrated forward, no question.
Huscroft shot deflected wide. Marty McSorley couldn't get it by Brent Hughes. Tries again. Hughes blocked it again. Murray chasing down on the near side. Pat Conacher got the headlock. Stumple holds it in. Boston gaining some territorial advantage here in the latter part of this first period. Gordy Roberts ahead for Brent Hughes. Conacher at center. Pat Conacher has picked up one of the 2 goals along with Dixon Ward for the Los Angeles Kings. Dumped back into the zone. This is a tough building for LA. Now McSorley and Huscroft. Here we go. This is a real heavyweight fight. Marty McSorley, second fight of the game, or Huscroft's second fight of the game.
Boy, Huscroft's done a pretty good job of getting a grip. What McSorley wants to do is strip himself of his own equipment. That he did. Now you can see Huscroft trying to tie him up. McSorley's trying to push him back to start throwing punches here, and Huscroft's smart enough to hang on to whatever he can, because if Marty gets him locked out, Huscroft doesn't have anything to grab onto. See, McSorley's got no elbow pads or anything, and all of a sudden the advantage shifts to McSorley, and all Huscroft can do now is try to hang on to the underwear and hope that it doesn't tear away.
Got him turned around.
But so interesting in how the momentum of that fight changed when Marty was able to get out of his clothes. That usually changes the tempo of most confrontations. You have to know Marty McSorley is sensitive about avoiding instigator penalties. Watch how he lets Huscroft drop his gloves and his stick and then drops his, so that he will avoid the instigator penalty. He has picked up a few of those this year. He has also been suspended because of them, because of the number of game misconducts that he has picked up. So he's very sensitive about that and wanted to avoid it there.
He just got back from a 4-game suspension for eye gouging.
It's not one thing, it's another.
Always something, isn't it? And now he's back in action. Centered ahead for Dixon Ward, who is cutting. 4:16 left to go here. 5 for fighting on McSorley and Huscroft. Under 5 left in the period. They go to the dressing room. Rob Stauber knocks it away. One of the reasons Stauber's playing and not Healy. Healy has never played well here in this building. So they give Stauber the chance to make the start. And the other, of course, is Healy played last night. Game at 2.
That would be Hrudey.
Is that what I said?
Or did Healy play?
Oh, did I say Healy? I'm sorry. That would be Kelly Hrudey. Substitute the names. Kartalnoff.
Yeah, Glenn Healy shut them out when he was here last.
That's right.
And if he's watching tonight, he's saying, what
happy.
do you mean? I play great against those guys.
He does. Glenn, you're absolutely right. I owe you one on that. Over to Adam Oates. Oates. Kartalnoff! Deflected wide. Shitnick got a piece of that as he wound up. Goes through Sweeney's legs. 3:33 left. Casey holding it up. Casey has been, as we said, just phenomenal in net. So the Kings getting a couple of goals in the first period. Done more most teams have done against him since the All-Star break. Sador sends it in. Wide side Sweeney. Reed got tied up. Robert Long trying to poke it away. Robitaille was there as well. Held in. Save made Casey on the point shot taken by Waters. Wide by Drews. Robitaille tried to center. Ray Bort blocked it. Held in though. Kings putting the heat on now. Robert Long. Long inside. Bort just stood there and stripped him of the puck. Sador along the boards. Held it in. Robert Long a little room. Over to Charlie Huddy. Huddy's shot deflected into the corner off Drews. Comes to Ray Bork. Bork says enough of that and clears it out.
Tough assignment for number 45 of the Bruins, rookie Andrew McKim. He's just a little guy, and that Drews Robitaille long line is big and experienced.
McKim knocked it away for the Bruins. Chased down by Featherstone. Held into the zone. Good play by Los Angeles. They're putting heat on. Gary Shuchuk moved in. Shuchuk's missed a good deal of this season. Out 10 games with a knee injury. Sent in by Stanton. Deflects in the air to the point. Featherstone on the collision held it into Reed. Looking to the middle shot. Leach save made. Stauber. Sador. So Leach gets back in action with a good opportunity right there. Leach out 25 games with an injury. This is his first game back. Leach pinned up against the boards. McReynolds reaching in. McReynolds poked away. Leach could not hold it in. Sends it across the line. Bruins clear the zone. Conacher back. And has to go a little deeper. 2 minutes left to go here in the first period. Shots 13-12 in favor of Los Angeles, but the game tied at 2-2. The icing call picked up on the Kings. Bruins are on a 3-0-1 streak. They've won their last 3, haven't lost in 4. The Kings finally won last night after they had not won a game in 9 on the road. So 1-6-3 on the road. There's Stevie Leach. Who said was back.
The Bruins are happy to get him back too, Gary. You know what you're going to get when you have Steve Leach on the bench. He is a consummate workhorse for the Bruins, and above all else, the Bruins have their big 3: Oates and Neely and Ray Bork. They obviously cannot afford those guys to go down and miss much time. But there's a supporting cast and a second layer of players here, and Steve Leach is a big part of that. They need them healthy going down the stretch too.
Yep. Every team trying to get everybody back. Full complement of people here to hit the final run. Cleared out to center. Pack. Murray got it back. Pack bangs it off the lineman. Gauthier. Bill McCreary is our referee tonight. Kevin Collins and Gerard Gauthier are the linesmen. McReynolds brings it up ice. A rookie, Brian McReynolds, into the zone and offside. So
with the lean group of forwards that the Kings had, everybody got a look.
It's his 10th game this season. He has not scored a point. McReynolds has not. You saw what's coming up. Sports Smash. All the other day's activities in the National Hockey League and in sports. Had a feature on the great one, Wayne Gretzky, who touches the puck right there. He's not had but one opportunity here in the first period to put anything in, and hasn't done so in this 2-2 game.
I mentioned that he doesn't want to be the second guy in 45 years to win the scoring and miss the playoffs. Mario Lemieux did that in 1988. And once upon a time, Wayne had 8 goals in 27 hours. But I mean, that his great achievements are so obvious. You've got to look so far down the list of all of his records to come up with obscure things like that and still make people go, wow, 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 because just about everything jumps out at him.
Kings, of course, are playing without Tony Granato, who's still serving that suspension for the high sticking slash. Adam Oates brings it up. So the Kings losing what they hope would be some offensive power, although Tony's had a very tough season. He's out for the 12th game tonight of the 15-game suspension. Gretzky on the far side, under a minute left to go here in the first. A great one into the zone. Gretzky, Conacher picked for him, tried to get Curry, hauled down by Cam Neely. No call on that one. Neely got away with one, and a good play as he reached out. Gretzky has it. Gretzky moving in. Gretzky thinking about it. Back for Jim Pack. Blake. Rob Blake. The shot deflected wide. Gretzky, 24 seconds to go in the period. Gretzky back. Blake was moving in. Tried to backhand it in front. Could not. Still in the zone. Sweeney for it. Sweeney clearing it up himself. Adam Oates coming with Kartalnov. Jam back to Ray Bork. Bork will shoot it from anywhere, and that's why. He almost got one from anywhere. Kartalnov and Neely have scored for Boston. Conacher and Ward for L.A. Rob Stauber saying, what?
Oh, that had a crazy quality to it as soon as Ray let it rip. It sort of bounced, stepped into it. It looked like it was changing directions, and Rob Stauber had to be so quick. It's no wonder Ray Bork is leading the NHL in shots. You're right, he shoots from everywhere.
He's on a pace to have 440 shots this season, Bill. It would be the second all-time. Only Phil Esposito, who had 550 shots in 70-71, will have had more shots than Ray Bork if he continues on that projected run.
Ray, he's never busted 400, so if he gets over 400, that'll be a first for him. 550, the all-time best. Phil
Wait till
Esposito.
I see Phil. Oh, wish we could show you the seats here. He calls them the Phil Esposito seats here at the Garden. They're underneath the rafters. If we have time later in the game, I'll show him to you.
Well, how was he supposed to score 78 by not shooting?
Shot wide of the net. Good chance by Smolinski. Donato couldn't control, and it's out of the zone. Good first period. More wide open than you would expect here at the Boston Garden for Wayne Gretzky, though. He's not any closer. He needs 3 to tie and 1 to set the new all-time record for goals in a career as he chases Gordie Howe. Feature coming up on the Great One during our first intermission, along with the Sports Smash after one. Back here in Boston, shots were 13-13 and the score 2-2 at the end of the first period. Welcome back, Gary Thorne. Great to have you with us. ESPN2's Fire on Ice. Wayne Gretzky, 1 assist in the first period. Still 3 shy of Gordie Howe. He would like to get it done right here tonight.
Hopefully in Boston and kind of quickly move this thing along, but it'll be exciting when it does happen. And maybe this situation take a little bit of pressure off the players and a little bit of focus away from having to press and do things that are a little bit uncharacteristic, and maybe this will help and benefit the hockey club.
And when you're playing hockey in Boston, it is impossible to get away from one name, Bobby Orr, who said Wayne Gretzky's the greatest player he had ever seen and wished he'd played against him.
I would like to play with him. maybe I'd have the record broken by now. Well, you know, I think the one great thing about our sport is that we had so many great players, but they were true gentlemen. You know, you look at people like Bobby Orr and Gordie Howe and John Beliveau, and then down to guys like Brian Trottier and Messier. You know, we just have very classy people that have played our sport of hockey. And you know, when you have a guy like Bobby Orr talking about you, I don't care what you've done and how many championships you've won, it's always very flattering. And when it comes from a guy like that, it means a lot.
And he's not just saying that now. He has always felt this game should be played with class, and he has always tried to bring that to the game. Let me tell you, folks, he has done that. Tonight, he hasn't put one in yet. The numbers for him tonight, those are first period numbers for Wayne Gretzky. When we get back, Bill Clement will take a look at those and analyze the first period for the Great One. And we'll be back for second period action. The end of one here in Boston. It's the Los Angeles Kings and the Bruins tied at 2. Fire on Ice, ESPN2's exclusive coverage of the National Hockey League is brought to you by The Mash from Fila. Fila, change the game. By Discover Card, it pays to discover the card that pays you back. And by Head Golf, double your sweet spot. Head Golf. Conacher and Ward have scored for Los Angeles. Kartanoff and Neely have put the 2 up for the Bruins at the end of a 1. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement back. Well, Gretzky's the one we're watching. How about the first period?
Tough to play against the Boston Bruins. They're not going to put a shadow on Wayne Gretzky. As a matter of fact, 6 of the 7 shifts he played head-to-head against the Adam Oates line. Now, Adam Oates is not the best defensive center in the league either, so Wayne should get some chances in the offensive zone. Well, we put together some of Wayne's trips into the Bruins zone in the first period, and you can tell by the look of this that nobody is around Wayne Gretzky when he's in the corners, but when he moves into scoring positions, you'll keep seeing number 77 come into your picture. So while Adam Oates' line is not that good defensively, there's Ray Bourque all the time. Anytime you see Wayne Gretzky near the net, and that's what we saw in the first period, you ended up seeing Ray Bourque. On the power play, the Kings even put Wayne Gretzky for the faceoffs back on the point. Now, he's not going to blast to score from there because he doesn't have the best shot in the league, but he sees the players in front as well as anybody, and he tried for Robitaille on that one. Look at the Bruins around him on this one. What is consistent? Still, Ray Bourque, 77 for the Bruins. Anytime Wayne Gretzky has the puck is always around him.
And the scoring, couple of goals in that first period, Bill. One right here.
But John Casey had kind of a nightmarish first period with a couple of shots. I mean, that you can't practice those. I mean, you don't have Dixon Ward standing in front of you kind of spearing at the puck and really creating a monster for you. So John Casey really got himself together late in the period, and the Bruins tied it on this goal. This is the one that went off the crossbar. Cam Neely's 47th that Wayne was able to pull out, but it was at least across the line by 6 inches. So I saw the Bruins tighten up as that period went on, and that's the way the Bruins have to play in their building to win. All
right, John Casey red hot with that 9-0-2 mark on the line here tonight. Not defeated since the All-Star game. Rob Stauber, who plays well here in Boston, giving it a shot here at the Garden tonight. Teams have come back out on the ice, and we're about set to go. Second period of action coming up as you take a look at John Casey. Unbelievable for Casey to be that hot over that extended period of time, and much of it coming on the road. You were told some numbers before the game. I still have a hard time believing it. He is 15-2-4 on the road. 15-2-4 on the road this season for John Casey. I mean, it's better.
The Los Angeles Kings because it is smaller, but the shape of the corners here at Boston Garden, I mean, they're so evenly sloped, the corners are, that it doesn't matter where you shoot the puck from, it almost always comes out in front. And John Casey told me when he first got here, he said, boy, I'm having a tough time adjusting to these corners because no matter where you shoot it from, it comes out in front of me. In all of the other rinks, you had to hit the sweet spot. Not here. You could shoot it just about anywhere.
Face-off won by the Bruins. Joey Juneau won it back. Stanton going behind the net. Intercepted Robitaille. Tried to center for Drews. Joey Juneau was there. Tipped away to center. Boston trying to break, and a penalty coming up. It would, as you see, they have done in their ranking as far as Killingham-Off's concerned. Bang back to center. Donato comes back to get it. Kings were 18th last year when they were short-handed. Boston 7th when they are short-handed. Curry brings it in, and he'll ship it into the corner. Back to get it, Ray Bourque. Gretzky out on the penalty-killing unit for Los Angeles. Ray Bourque starting it up. And Bourque will dump it in. On the power play, 18 power play goals for Cam Neely leads the Bruins. Adam Oates has picked up 12. Both are out there now. Neely with the puck. Back for Adam Oates. Oates, 5th all-time in assists per game. National Hockey League history, Adam Oates. Back to Bourque. Bourque, the shot. Rebound. Oates went wide as Tim Waters deflected it. Good play by Waters. Gary Curry in the penalty-killing unit. He tips that away. Bourque and Curry give chase. Curry made sure he wrapped up Ray Bourque, did not allow him to get going on the puck. Los Angeles is 3rd in the league in shorthanded goals scored. They've picked up 17. Boston has given up only 7 on the season. Tip back. Donato. Donato in. Donato lost it. A diving Gary Shuchuk knocked it away. Pat Conacher, Shuchuk, Sador on the penalty-killing unit with Charlie Huddy. Near side for Smolinski. They're onside. Sador back. No, they weren't. He had stepped in. Smolinski did ahead of it. 39 left on the power play for the Bruins.
And as usual, Ray Bourque will stay out here for the entire 2 minutes on the power play. You can see that he's resting his stick on his legs, trying to get a little air into the lungs. But through the first period, we showed you earlier Wayne Gretzky's ice time, which is real healthy for a forward. But look at Ray Bourque's ice time, 11 minutes and 30 seconds. The most ice time he received this year in a 60-minute game, 38 minutes. Now that's Wayne Gretzky as a 24-year-old type numbers, but remember, Ray Bourque isn't a 24-year-old any longer. And the thing that is so incredible about Ray Bourque's ice time, Wayne plays a certain way, but Wayne has always been terrific at pacing himself. Ray paces himself too. It's called all out all the time and hit everybody at the same time.
That is the way he plays. Never stops.
That's why it's so amazing to have a number of 38 minutes in ice time, because he is all out all the time.
He's out there on the power play right now as he got it away to Joey Juneau. Back for Ray Bourque. Bourque in front. Paul Stanton shot wide. That deflected in front off Smolinski. Smolinski with the puck. Smolinski, the rookie, back to Stanton. Drops it off to Ray Bourque. Power play shot. Save made by Stauber. Smolinski's got it. 10 left on the power play. Again, Ray Bourque. Bourque down the middle. Centered. Stanton save. Great save made by Stauber on an outstanding setup for Paul Stanton. Penalty is over in front. Smolinski. The Kings failed to clear even strength goal. 3-2 Boston.
Even strength goal, but Jimmy Pack hadn't made it back into the zone. And the attempted clear by Charlie Huddy went right off of Joey Juneau, right to his stick, and then back out to Brian Smolinski for a lead by the Bruins. Boy, the Bruins are so happy that Brian Smolinski has turned into a regular second-line player for them. After the Oates line, the scoring drops off drastically, but that is Brian Smolinski's 22nd goal of the season. Nothing wrong with that.
He's 7th among rookie scorers now in the National Hockey League. Brian Smolinski gets the goal. And it is a 3-2 Boston lead, so we start right out again here with the offensive units going to work. And that is an even strength goal, although as Bill Bill said Pack was still trying to get back into the play. Gordy Roberts. Roberts dumps it on the near side. McSorley tried to tip. Stumple got it around him. Conacher backed it up, and Jamie Huscroft is back to get it. At center loose for Waters. Tim Waters sends it in. Casey goes back to get it. Roberts back behind the net. Casey's goals against a 2-6-1. I wonder whether that'll hold true tonight. If so, not much more left for the Kings. Far side Murray. Zhitnik back. Zhitnik tried to send it around and did. Ray Bork's got to go back to center to get it. Los Angeles 23rd in the league on the road. They are 8-20-5. Murray, great save again by Stauber. And that's what Los Angeles goaltenders have to do to keep the Kings in a game. Got a problem with the net here. The Marsh peg, which is a thick rubberized peg that goes into the ice, looks like it broke off, or
that's just bent. It's just bent. But the interesting thing is that the official just spotted it a couple of seconds ago. While we were away at break, they were just having a rest and having a drink of water. Glenn Murray with a terrific shot, and it was equaled on the save by Rob Stauber. Watch Murray look down and look at him look up again right here. He knows where he's shooting this. Well, that's great. I mean, the great shooters, and Murray only has 9 goals, and he is still young in his NHL life. But if he continues to take a peek like that just when he's delivering the shot, he will score if he gets his chances.
Good play by Rob Stauber, the 26-year-old who played at the University of Minnesota, the man in net tonight for the Los Angeles Kings. Pat Conacher's got a goal. Gretzky's on the right. He sees him, but so did Ray Bork. Back for Jari Kurri. Trying to get it to Gretzky. Jari Kurri comes around. Jari Kurri hauled down. They get away with one there. Sweeney just reached out and grabbed him. Conacher now working with Kurri and Gretzky. In the corner, it's pinned up by Sweeney. And the Bruins get it up, not out. Blake shot. Save made. That was a hard, low shot by Blake. Kartalov gets it out for Oates. Oates in. Adam Oates. Oates dipsy doodles at the board. The shot. Save. Stauber. Rebound tipped wide. Kartalov. Great chance right there. Stauber's come up with 3 good saves here in this period. Oates pinned against the boards by Blake, who will hurt you when he gets you in that kind of position. Neely couldn't get it. Tipped around Gretzky. Gretzky knocked down. Guess who was over there? Ray Bork.
Gary, as long as we continue to see the Gretzky line against the Oates line, we are going to see scoring chances at both ends of the ice. The difference is the Bruins are better as a team defensively simply because Ray Bork is back there when Wayne Gretzky is on the ice. So give them the advantage. But one way or the other, if this matchup continues, we're going to see a bunch of chances.
We are right now 20-14 the shots. We haven't even played 5 minutes of the second period. And the Kings, the Bruins, have the advantage in shots. They are not a team that takes a lot of opportunity as far as their percentage is concerned, but they get a lot of shots. Boston Bruins, one of the lowest percentage shooters in the league, but at the top of the pile in shots taken. Cam Neely, who's got a goal in this one for 47 on the year, dropped it back for Paul Stanton. Stanton set it in. Huddy's getting into it with Reed. Loose. Juneau chipped it. Tipped away by Robert Long. Stauber, the puck behind him, but Robert Long came in to help. There's John Drews. Drews with Robitaille. Crisscrossing. Drews. Featherstone reached in and took him down. Here's Robert Long. Long tied up by Paul Stanton. Picked up by Leach. Steve Leach. Hits it up. Not out. Drews again. Leach again. Leach backing up. Drews pinned him to the boards. Stanton and Robert Long. Leach again. A battle in the corners. My buddy in center, Boston, Peter McNabb, used to say corners are for buses. Sador! Save made again. Red hot goaltending here in the second period as Casey denied him on the doorstep. Played again by Robert Long. Long drops it off. Sador shot. Save made again, deflected to Robitaille and cleared, and a penalty coming up. An interference call on Boston's Paul Stanton, and a power play coming up for the Kings. 13:53 to go in the second. Boston leading it 3-2.
Well, here's Wayne Gretzky on his last shift. He is wide open. Why? The Bruins will let Wayne Gretzky stay wide open when the play is on the far side. They're as good as anybody in the league at taking away the passing lanes and keeping the puck from getting to Wayne Gretzky. Wayne had to try and go and get it back himself.
See Ray Bork there, Bill, staying between Gretzky and the puck. Man, what a battle, huh? This Los Angeles team, you talk about a struggle. You see Gretzky's numbers against Boston, not particularly good for him. Here in Boston, Boston leads in the series against LA 40-10-3. LA's only won 10 games ever here at the Boston Garden. Power play underway for Los Angeles. Boston short-handed. Blake's got it. Blake shot, save, rebound right over the stick of Yari Curry. Rob Blake was working at the point. Only the second power play of the game, with Stanton out of there in interference at 6:07. Blake comes back to get it. First meeting between these two teams. LA was 1 for 4 on the power play against Boston. That'll end up being deflected into the seats. I never forget the playoffs. I spend a whole season getting ready for the playoffs.
Well, gosh, they won 18 of their last 22 games last year and then got swept in the first round.
Adam Oates tied up by Shitnik. Good play by Shitnik, who takes him down. Reed over. Still a power play here for the Kings. Marty McSorley is working in a forward, gave it up. The shot blocked as Oates intercepted. Shitnik again blocked it. Oates gets it back. Boston with a short-handed chance. Yari Curry, poke checked away. McSorley comes back again. Smolinski had moved up. Gretzky gets it over to Yari Curry. Boston leading at 3-2. The great one in. Blake down the middle. Poke check by Sweeney. Great pickpocket by Sweeney. McSorley's shot missed it wide. Marty McSorley got an empty netter last night. Shitnik shot. Fans cheer. Smolinski and McSorley went down. Then McSorley took a run at Ray Bourque and missed him.
Hey, Brian Smolinski went shoulder to shoulder with Marty McSorley, and McSorley went down.
McSorley went after Ray Bourque when he got up. I don't know if he thought Bourque was the one who hit him, or if he just was looking for the nearest uniform.
Yeah, anybody in white.
Blake shot, save, rebound, Drews, can't get the shot off. Drews had it on the stick, and the glove of Joey Juneau was in front of him. He could not shoot it. Shitnik back to get it. 3 seconds of the power play. It is over. Boston has killed it off. So the Kings do not convert. It remains a Boston 3-2 lead. Robitaille all alone in the middle. Robert Lang shot. Save Casey. Rebound deflected wide. Lang went in alone. Gordy Roberts hit by Lang. Puck freed up again. Centered for Drews. Knocked away. Reed sends it up for Juneau. Joey Juneau, 14 goals, 49 assists. Lost the puck, cleared up by Huddy Robitaille. Robitaille with Sweeney back. Robitaille to Drews. Drews the move. Taken away by Sweeney as he kicked it away and cleared out of the zone. Reed on the right. Reed waiting for help. Off the end of Stauber's glove, was not on net. Changing up that time, the Bruins had nobody else on the ice to help him out. At center, they do now. Joseph Stumple gets it in. Hines! Save made, rebound. Stumple went after it. Sador was there. Sador Hughes missed him. Not at the near side towards did Sweeney as he took down Drews. Boston kind of game starting to be played right now. Hughes sends it in. Teams come over the boards. Boston up by a score of 3-2. And the fans moving a little more to the edge of the seats. Gordy Roberts had that one bounce up and get him in the schnozola. That one comes up and hits Stumple in the face. Dixon Ward, who's got a goal, brings it in. Tim Waters. Stumple on him. Waters got it down deep for Donnelly. Lost it. Huscroft around the boards. Glenn Murray. Murray working with Hughes and Stumple on this line for the Bees. Murray in. Over to Hughes. Dropped it back. Shot wide by Stumple out of the net. Getting away with it is Stauber as he gets back. Hughes! Stauber poked it back to Hughes! He was behind the goal line. Had no angle. Penalties coming up. It'll be on Tim Waters. Interference on Waters and a Los Angeles King. Down on the ice, that is Dixon Ward. Power play for Boston when we come back.
Well, Pete Demers, the trainer for the Kings, is taking care of Dixon Ward. He, we think, got hit with a skate somewhere right around the ear, but he was in a lot of pain for a while. Here's the end of the action at the Kings' end. Watch, the Bruins were all over the Kings and trying to get out. Watch Dixon Ward here come down, and it looks like he landed on a skate or had a skate kick him in the side of the head. It was Glenn Murray that was already down. And here is the break by Robert Long. He went to his backhand. He tried a little shuffle between John Casey's pads, and there was no room there at all. But John Casey has been such a patient goaltender over the last little while. He's changed his style. I mean, last year, even earlier this year, and sometimes you'll still see it, but not as much. He would have charged out at Robert Long there. Now Casey is willing to stand back and let the game come to him a little bit. He used to try to force the play all the time. And, you know, when you're hot, you can play that way. When you go cold, You're a mess when you play that way.
Bill, we mentioned he's 9-0-2. What amazed me even more, though, 21-6-4 in his last 31 starts. 21-6-4. And that is an amazing number, and duration-wise, for John Casey, the Boston goaltender. Power play underway here. Waters went for interference at 9:54. Bruins get power play opportunity. First meeting between these two teams. Boston went 0 for 5 on the power play. They've not converted tonight on the chance. Donato over to Kartalnov. Kartalnov sending it wide. They'll have Bork and Donato back. They'll send it in for Neely. Comes back to Donato. Ted Donato. Ray Bork. One-timer right on the net. Held onto by Stauber. Rebound, but it didn't go very far. Other games going on in the National Hockey League. We'll keep you posted on them tonight. There you see Tampa Bay has got the lead. Pat Elenick has one of those for Tampa Bay. Now 2-0 as they lead. And the other games just getting underway were later starts.
Tampa has to cover some ground, but they haven't given up on their playoff hopes. Florida's ahead of them. The Islanders are ahead of them.
Kind of spiraled down a little of late.
Florida's hurting while the Islanders have come on and, boy, just really turned it around. It's amazing what happens when you get terrific goaltending.
Just like last year, the Islanders are doing the same thing again.
I knew they'd come back as soon as I wrote them off. I think we did that on the air. I said, stick a fork in and they're done.
I said the same thing, and I'm still not a firm believer that the Islanders are ready, but boy, they're playing well.
They're not there yet.
No. Ray Bork's got it. Kartalnov, Boston power play. Boston leads at 3-2. Kartalnov the move. And the shot over Stauber's head. No team has had a 2-goal lead in this game. Donato sends it back for Adam Oates. Over to Kartalnov. Stauber went back to get it. Tried to send it around and did. Yari Curry. Curry trying to get it up. Can't get it by Bork. Oates. McSorley took it away. McSorley can't get it by Bork. Holds it in. 49 on the Boston power play. Kartalnov in the corner. Neely's out in front. Bork the turnaround shot. He doesn't even have to be looking to take that shot. And he didn't that time. Picked up by Neely. Neely. Centered shot. Bork. Rebound shot. Score! Wow. 2 for Kartalnov.
Wow. A goal scorer's goal. This is the man that got 60 in the International League 2 years ago and became the first-round pick of the Bruins last year. He got 30 here for the Bruins in the minors this year. But it's rip shots like this that'll keep him here in Boston. He had to wait for it to get to him, and then whammo. He just exploded a shot up and over Rob Stauber. He's almost standing on the goal line, so you can tell he had no angle, no reaction, routine. Just get me out there, coach. I'll score for you.
Power play goal for Kartalnov. 2 tonight. He now has 9 on the season. 3 of them are power play goals, and for the first time a team has a 2-goal lead in this game, and it's the Boston Bruins leading it by a score of 4-2. Back out through center. Goal coming at 11:18. Kartalnov from Bork and Neely. So Neely has picked up a goal and 2 assists already in this game. Ray Bork has added 2 assists in this game, and Kartalnov's got 2 goals. LA down. Charlie Huddy was in, tipped it wide. John Drews over to get it. Robitaille behind the net. Robitaille gets taken down by Jamie Huscroft, who lost his stick. Huscroft went back after the stick. John Drews. That went off John Casey's stick. Leach trying to clear it out, intended for Reed, came behind it. Boston up 4-2, 7:57 to go in the second. Shots are 24-18 in favor of the Bees, and that one will end up in the seats. Oh, this Boston team that averages only 3.33 per game already is over that in this one with just over half the game completed.
Now, the Bruins have really taken control of the game, and they started early in this period with the hitting game. Steve Leach here on Charlie Huddy keeps it going. But when they're on top of their game, they're playing tight defensively, and part of them playing tight defensively is following through on their checks and banging people the way Steve Leach did right there. There's no question they have taken control of the game by playing the way they play. When the Bruins play the way they play, they're a better team than LA is, even when the Kings play as well as they can the way they play.
Now can the Kings find the net on Casey, who's stoned him here in the second. Reichel from behind the net for Los Angeles. Reverses Marty McSorley, playing a forward position on this line. Back for Reichel. Paul Stanton got it. Held in by Waters. Loose behind the net. Pat Conacher. Conacher, McSorley, and Reichel on this line. Conacher. See Boston, though, keeping them on the perimeter as Stumple jams up Conacher. Pat Conacher's played with a bad back most of this season, but plays. Never any question in his mind. McSorley knocked down by Featherstone. Stumple and Conacher getting to know each other in the corner. King spent a lot of time in this corner tonight.
Yeah.
Second big jam up we've had down here where the puck has stayed there for about a minute each time. Reichel fell down as he turned around to shoot. Casey comes out, leaves it off for Stumple. Both shifts out of legs here. Zhitnik couldn't hold it in. Hughes has got it. Hughes hooked from behind, knocked down by Waters. Hughes and Waters spear each other as Hughes was headed to the bench. Boston up 4-2, 6:43 to go in the second. They wave off anti-icing. Played by Ray Bork. Bork near side. Kartalnov's going for the hat trick. Adam Oates to him. Kartalnov the move, got knocked down, jammed off the boards to Adam Oates. Oates centering. Kartalnov hit the post. He almost had the trick right there. 3-on-2. Gretzky leads it. Gretzky with Jari Kurri. Kurri the shot and a save made. Squeeze shot. John Casey. Whoa.
Well, Casey knew he had something because he didn't look behind him, but I'm not sure he felt that he had it all. 3-on-2, classic Gretzky to Kurri. I mean, Wayne Gretzky just wants the D to stay in tight to him, and then he passes over to Jari Kurri. Kurri with the quickest shot in the Kings team. Only Robitaille and Kurri would have even gotten his shot away.
15th all-time point man in NHL history, Jari Kurri. Knocked away to Cam Neely. Neely in. Neely looking for help, trying to drop it off. Blake had tied him up. Pack cleared it out. Kurri brings it. Kurri out with Gretzky again and Donnelly. Kurri, the Gretzky move right there. Gretzky will play it off the boards. Gretzky has an assist tonight. No goals. Centered Kurri was blocked by Ray Bork. Every time Gretzky's tried to do something, Ray Bork's been there. Back come the Bruins. Neely drops it off. Oates had already gone in. Gretzky behind the net, but it was handled by Kartalnov. Cleared out Jari Kurri. Donnelly got behind him. Gretzky comes. Sweeney and Bork back. Drops it off near side. Donnelly for Jari Kurri. Great play. Cam Neely held up Kurri just enough so he could not get in for the shot. Gretzky again. Ray Bork right in his sweater. Tonight Ray Bork's wearing number 99. Charlie Huddy pinned up by Jari Kurri. Here we are, same corner, same thing.
We have to stop meeting like this. Should be the
me.
slogan for that corner.
Please, Jari Kurri centered for Gretzky, hit the back of the net with it. Ray Bork picks up the loose puck, can't get it by Sador. Sador back for Donnelly, lets it go to Gretzky. Gretzky with Don Sweeney on him. The Harvard grad pinned him up, banked in the air. Bork again. Gretzky's there, so is Bork. Sador shot, deflected out deep. Oates. Sador held it in. Bork lifts it out. Huddy. Kings will change. Knocked down by Casey. 24-19 the shots. The Bruins with the advantage there. From anywhere on the ice, Ray Bork. And it was on net.
He wanted to change, and that was his best option. I looked around and everybody else was covered. I know he looked around too.
He's trying to reach Esposito tonight. Joey Juneau centered for Donato. Sador. Kings start back, trailing by 2. Drews, Robitaille, and Robert Long. Long. Near side Robitaille had it taken away. Good play made by Glenn Murray. Back comes Jamie Huscroft. Huscroft near side. Smolinski. Smolinski centered, tipped by Donato. Robitaille dropped it off. Drews coming. Bruins are back. Jamie Huscroft. Penalty coming up on Huscroft as he grabbed a hold of John Drews. So with a Boston 2-goal lead, power.
Good play here by John Drews to the Kings. He sees Jamie Huscroft back there, so he goes wide to test him wide, and he ends up drawing a penalty. Huscroft has been busy. 2 fights. He's played forward, and Brian Sutter now has him back on defense. So Jamie Huscroft is getting about as much ice time as he can handle, and happy about it too. He wants to stay here in the worst way, doesn't he?
He goes off for holding. He is as tougher player as you'll find, and as nice a guy. Doesn't have all the skills and knows it. He knows he's responsible for some of the tough stuff for Boston. That's one of the reasons he's here. But he plays both defense and offense. He can play the wing or he can play the D. D is where he calls home. Glenn Wesley being out. He's played some D tonight. Wesley out with that kidney bruise we mentioned earlier in the last game. Power play underway. Los Angeles 0 for 2 in the power play tonight. They need one here. They're down by 2. Zhitnik, who can gun it, does. Over the head of Casey. Rebounded off the back of the net to Don Sweeney, who cleared. The Kings have only had 1 shot on their 2 power play chances, this being their 3rd. Blake ahead Robitaille. Did he touch it? No. He's got to get there first. Now won't happen. Played by Casey to Juneau. At the point, Zhitnik again. The shot deflected in front. Rebound. Drews! He didn't have the angle. He got the backhand shot off, but a tough angle for him.
That's a good play by Luc Robitaille. I mean, he had to sprint down there and force John Casey to play it so that there wouldn't be an icing call. And that's how they got their scoring chance.
Wow, look at that. Blake and Stauber battling the puck. Paul Stanton shorthanded the Bruins. Bruins have looked very good penalty killing tonight. Smolinski centered, shorthanded chance. Donato taken away by Jari Kurri. 4-2. Boston leading. 3 minutes to go in the second period. And Jari Kurri on the power play lost it to Donato. LA's very tentative coming through center ice tonight on the power play, with Boston standing them up at center.
Yeah, you can look tentative when you're facing that much pressure in the neutral zone.
Blake sends it around. Adam Oates over there with Gretzky. Just waited till it bounced by Gretzky. Joining us here late tonight on ESPN2's Fire on Ice, Gretzky has had an assist, no goals. Marty McSorley, he is 3 shy of tying Gordie Howe, the all-time record. Blake shot. Save made by Casey. Jari Kurri. Curry's got McSorley in front of the net. Gretzky behind him. There's Wayne Gretzky. Couldn't play it. McSorley moved over. Gordie Roberts got it. Blake knocks it down as he'd moved up. Roberts again with McSorley on him. Cleared around. Kurri over to get it. 5 seconds on the power play for the Kings. Back behind the net. Gretzky waiting for it. Penalty is over. Even strength. McSorley to Kurri. Trying to get it to Gretzky. Scores! Jari Kurri. The puck came right back to Kurri. Even strength. 4-3. Boston.
See, good things happen to people that try to give. And Jari Kurri tried to give. He was going for Gretzky on the pass all the way, and it bounced right back to him. Good work by McSorley. He lays this one out perfectly for Jari Kurri. And then watch the pass over to Gretzky, with Cam Neely just chopped down on it and put it right back to Jari Kurri. He was just trying to block the pass to Gretzky, but in the attempt, he put it right back to Kurri.
Talk about being unselfish, huh? First thought was Gretzky, and he had a great shot. He was all alone first time. But he tried to dump it off. And the Kings have come back to make it a 1-goal game again. And that was an even strength. Ray Bourque back to get it. They get their third on their 22nd shot. Bourque off the boards. Charlie Huddy trying to hold it in, rolled to center. Shuchuk, Sador. Ooh, that hot Hughes in the face. He's all right. Conacher can't get it around Sweeney. Sweeney gets run into by Shuchuk and knocked down. Collided with his own man, Hughes and Sweeney. Now Boston trying to regroup here. Ray Bourque will take it back behind the net. 1:28 to go in the second period. Los Angeles Kings coming off their 4-1 win at Hartford last night. The Bruins off a 4-0 win Sunday at Chicago. Hughes moves it in. Hughes tied up. Goes to the middle. Brett Hughes scores! He'd only had 3 goals in the last 20 games. He makes it a 5-3 Boston lead.
And he looked like a goal scorer doing it, Gary. What a nice move to the backhand by Brent Hughes. Again, the Kings really had their coverage fall apart. Not only was Hughes in, but look at Glenn Murray behind him. Hughes froze Rob Stauber with a fake shot on the forehand, pulled to the backhand, then he did the smart thing. He did the scorer's thing. He got it up off the ice. That is goal number 9 for Brent Hughes. His best season total before this year was 5 last year with the Bruins, and that was goal number 9.
And Boston gets that goal right back. Big goal to make it a 2-goal advantage. 1:05 left to go in the period. Robert Long chopped it ahead. Leach dumps it into the zone. 1 minute left to go here in the second period. Blake back to get it. Leach knocks it down. Leach the shot wide of Stauber. Rebound back to Roberts. Sent it in. Lost it. Cleared out of the zone. Yes. And this will be an icing call. Roberts will go back on the touch-up with 41 seconds remaining to go here in the second period. Our storyline tonight here at the Boston Garden, Gretzky has picked up 2 assists, but not one of those goals he needs to reach Gordie Howe. 3 shy of him right now. Cam Neely is 47th, leading the league there. Kartalnov, a couple of goals and an assist, and Ray Bourque has added another assist to that. Hughes got his 9th from Stumple and Bourque at 18:47, so Bourque adds another assist to it. That's we up to 3 for Ray Bourque now, or 2? Fun. 2-3. Yep, Bourque's got 3 assists now as he got one on that last goal. See the other games going on our Budweiser scoreboard. A couple of late starts in the National Hockey League, including that one at San Jose. Jari Kurri's 28th came from McSorley and Jitnik at 17:57. Answered 10 seconds later. Hughes from Stumple and Bourque. Those are the kind of goals that kill you. Ray Bourque shot. Deflected off the boards. Gretzky's got it. Gretzky trying to clear it out. Back to Reichel. Reichel ahead, tipped in by Marty McSorley. Bork knocks it down. You're looking at the time remaining in the second period. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement with you here at the Boston Garden after a rainy, snowy, sleety, haily, miserable day in Boston. Fans are here in full force to see their Bruins. They've had a lot to cheer about. The Bees up 5-3. With another period left to go. Bork takes it back into the corner. That'll about wrap it up here in the second period.
They've got a great home team to cheer on, and this is their only look at Wayne Gretzky, so I had a feeling no matter what the weather was going to be like, there would be a bunch here.
Somehow, some way, even if you got to take the tee. Boston at the end of 2 periods of play, out shooting Los Angeles 26-22 and leading it by 2. Fire on Ice, ESPN2's exclusive coverage of the National Hockey League is brought to you by Honda Motorcycles. Come in for red hot deal days through April 30th. Honda, come ride with us. By Midas, the Midas way, the way it should be. And by Topps, collect the card that takes it to the extreme. Topps Stadium Club. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement teams out for the third period with the Bruins leading at 5-3 after 2.
Boy, Cam Neely has been a going concern at both ends of the ice. Watch this play, how Neely supports in the corner. Oates is being pinned up. Neely is the second man there. He is able to dump it out in front. It hits a crowd, but it goes right to Rocket Man. Dmitry Kvartalnov rips it into the top corner for his second goal of the game. How patient was he on this one? He waited. I'm surprised he didn't take a step towards it, but he did the right thing because he made it count. At the other end, the Kings, as a power play was expiring, Marty McSorley out to Jari Kurri. Mr. Generosity tried to pass to Wayne Gretzky, ended up getting it right back on his stick thanks to a pass from Cam Neely, an intentional pass from Cam Neely. And that made it a 1-goal differential. Brent Hughes has given the Blues, or at least the Bruins, a 2-goal lead, 5-3. And Wayne has still been really well contained by the Bruins. He does not have a scoring chance in this game. 1 shot on goal that came in the first period. That's been it. So he's picked up in this game the assist, but is still shy of Gordie Howe by 3. Howe's 8:01 goal mark still there, and Gretzky still in chase. Pat Conacher will take the face-off against Joey Juneau. Shots 26-22 through 2 periods of play in favor of the Boston Bruins. The Bruins try and complete the 2-game sweep this season. They won in Los Angeles in overtime by a score of 3-2 during their last road trip. They've got a chance to take another one here. Big point for the Los Angeles Kings. Or as Robitaille said, they are huge. They need them as they battle for a playoff spot, but they're down by 2 to start the third. Casey around the boards. Donato in the middle. Well, Stanton to Smolenski, and Smolenski just backs it into the zone. Rob Stauber making the start in this game for the Los Angeles Kings. Has played well. He's had some real good saves. Smolenski out in front couldn't get it. Deflected by Zhitnik, who charges up ice. Alexei Zhitnik into the zone. Takes his shot. That was blocked by Glenn Featherstone. And a souvenir for the folks behind the Boston netminder. Well, we knew that Wayne Gretzky and Ray Bourque were going to lead their teams in ice time, but Ray is way ahead on this count. Wayne Gretzky 14 minutes and 30 seconds. Now this is out of a possible 40 through 2 periods. 12 shifts for Wayne, a shot on goal in 1 point, but not even a scoring chance. The shot was from far out, so it couldn't be considered a scoring chance, and it was on his first shift of the game. Ray Bourque, just the 8 shots. Remember, 2 of them were from his end of the ice.
Doesn't matter. He's just gonna pump it on, and he almost had one of those go in on a shot from the red line. There's Ray Bourque. He and Don Sweeney teaming up. Kvartalnov with 2 goals tonight. Neely cleared it out to center. Kvartalnov 2 goals. Neely a goal and 2 assists. Bourque 3 assists. Multiple scores for the Boston Bruins. Neely brings it out. Zhitnik a couple of assists in this game for the LA Kings. Back goes Dixon Ward, knocked it away. Gretzky goes back to get it. Gretzky jammed it around the dasher. Zhitnik over. Zhitnik cleared it up off the glass, batted with a high stick out of mode, so he doesn't touch it. Forcing the play to Zhitnik, Jari Kurri. Kurri sends it in. Dixon Ward playing it off the boards. Ward blocked it. It ended up going right in on John Casey. Jari Kurri behind the net. Gretzky, this famous place, tried to center, hit the back of the net with it. Kvartalnov gets it by Charlie Huddy. Played by Sador behind the net. Carol Sador, both teams change it up. Remember, the Kings played last night. Get into Boston 1:30 this morning from Hartford as they busted in. The Blades may be a little suspect here in the third period for Los Angeles as they continue on their road trip.
Tough time to have to play catch-up.
Yeah.
The Bruins can allow the puck to do a lot of the work. If they just keep chipping it in deep, that forces the Kings to go all the way back into their end, and then it's 200 feet from a goal.
Almost 200 feet. Brought in by Robert Long. Long down the middle. Long shot and the save made it. A penalty coming up.
I forgot where we were. That's right. It's not 200 here. It's 190, 193, but that's from boards to boards.
Board to boards. Well, here's a chance for the Kings. Power play.
Well, Robert Long found a seam, and the pass came right to him. He made a good play. He's a big, strong guy, and Gordie Roberts had to kind of hog tie him to throw him off. Otherwise, Long had a flat-out scoring chance in front of John Casey. Here are the standings in the Western Conference. You can see the Los Angeles Kings on the right side of that list are out of the playoffs as we speak. They are tied with Anaheim. 3 points. Both of them are behind San Jose, who holds the last playoff spot in the Western Conference right now.
Boy, what points. Barry Melrose knows how important they are now when you're under 20 games remaining in the season. The schedule favors them. This is their last road trip east. They have had a tough season of road trips, long and extended. Now they get to go home and play some games at home and on the West Coast. Los Angeles, though, is only a game above 500 at home. Zhitnik on the near side. Power play 0 for 3 on the night on the power play for the Kings. Blake the shot. That one skipped wide. Held onto by Drews. Long, and Robitaille up front of the unit. There's Robert Long. Long, a lot of playing time here tonight. Back to the point. Zhitnik forced out by Dave Reed, and that one's going to be called on the glove pass. Minute 41 remaining on the power play. 2.5 minutes into the third period here in Boston.
Well, Adam Oates and Cam Neely of the Bruins have seen a lot of goals go in this hockey game. There have been 8 goals scored. Oates and Neely have been on for 5 of them. 3 of their own and 2 of the LA Kings. Same for Wayne Gretzky and Jari Kurri. They've been on the ice for 5 goals. 2 of their own and 3 of the Bruins. Make a long story short, Adam is +1 and Wayne is -1.
As they have matched it up. Oates coming in averaging 0.9 assists per game played in his career, and as we said, 5th best all time. And ironically, the man who is 6th right behind him in that department, none other than Mr. Janney, who used to play here, now is in St. Louis on the deal that swapped him. Sweeney around the boards. Rob Blake trying to hold it in. Can't. Adam Oates short-handed. Oates hooked by Blake just enough to tie him up, and Blake was able to get away with it. Robitaille near side for Zhitnik. Minute 20 in the LA power play. Blake, his shot save made by Casey. Ray Bourque tried to clear it out, hit Robert Long. Fortunately, where it was padded. Played by Sweeney. Long holds it down again. Robert Long.
Either that or he's really tough.
Really tough. Robitaille centered again. Bourque. Blake, one-timer by Rob Blake, blocked out deep. Here comes Reed. Short-handed. Zhitnik moving up. Zhitnik poke checked it away. Reached around. Good play by Zhitnik. Featherstone with it. Boston short-handed for another 50 seconds. Played behind the net by Zhitnik. Robitaille, Jari Kurri, and Wayne Gretzky on the power play unit. Gretzky already way up ice. Jari Kurri. Robitaille in front of him. Boston again meeting them, not allowing Los Angeles to pass or skate into the zone. Gretzky. Pinned up Donato. Jari Kurri knocked it down. Donato got it back. He'll just wait. Sends it up. 25 left on the power play. Blake on the far side. Smolinski right after him gets the puck. Smolinski, the rookie, short-handed. Save made. Stauber, loose rebound. Stauber covers. Donato had just gone by.
I don't know if anybody was yelling to Brian Smolinski. They have to yell into his left ear. You can see his left ear. His right ear is covered with that pad because he took a shot in the ear yesterday in practice and has stitches in his right ear. It hasn't stopped him from having a terrific game here for the Bruins. He has scored one. He unloaded on that shot on Rob Stauber. Who was that jumping out of the way? Was that Jari Kurri? That was. Oh, we used to yell at guys that flamingoed from the bench. I don't know what we do with guys that jumped out of the way. It is Jari Kurri. He cleared about 4 feet. Vertical leap, 3.6 feet for Jari Kurri on that one to get out of the way.
Pretty good screen almost set up there by Kurri at his own end. 5-3 Boston leading. 18 seconds remaining on the Boston penalty. Sador behind the net. LA on their first 3 power play chances had only 3 shots, and that's one of the reasons why they're not getting out of the zone. Juneau held that one, and McSorley lost it to Reed. Here comes Gretzky. 4 on the power play for the Kings. Gretzky. Ray Bourque right there again. Boy, Bourque has won the battle tonight. Gretzky behind the net. Centered it back. Jari Kurri. Penalty is over. Even strength. LA's 0 for 4. Reed, even strength. Puck was rolling as he tried to wind up for the shot. It's on the back of the net. Sador goes back, and they'll get the whistle. 15:43 to go. Third period. Boston at home and up by 2.
Has not played a shift in this hockey game without having to face this guy, number 77, Ray Bourque, who swipes the puck away from Gretzky on this play. Even in deep. There he is again.
Wherever you go, whatever you do. McReynolds moving in, taken down by Gordy Roberts with a knee. The LA bench up wanting a call. They won't get it. Roberts kind of reached the knee out. McReynolds gets up though. He is all right. Los Angeles Kings down by 2 with 15:34 left to go. Needing points. Not in the playoffs as of the moment. Barry Melrose team that went all the way to the finals last year. Now just trying to make it into the first round.
Tell you how good the Bruins are when they score 4 goals or more, and they are leading 5-3 in this hockey game. Their record when they score 4 or more is 23-3-1.
McKim. Rebound Reed, saved by Stauber, and he helps out getting it out to Donnelly. Donnelly dropped it for Shuchuk, but it was too far behind him. Jim Pack clears it wide side. Shuchuk, Donnelly, McReynolds on the right. McReynolds, Ryan McReynolds, shot, score! A huge goal for Gary Shuchuk. Makes this a 1-goal game again. 5-4 Boston.
What a night for John Casey. So many weird pucks have come his way, including this one. Gary Shuchuk was able to wade into it, and the play started back at their own end. Here's Shuchuk just dumping it up and then trying to get up on the play, and they lay it out. Nobody picks up Shuchuk coming late, and he drifts this shot that Paul Stanton got a piece of, and that is what caused the problem for John Casey. Nice dump by Brian McReynolds, and you can see that it turned into a knuckleball. It changed directions. Casey had a bead on it, but then he got confused, and that maybe kind of had eyes and got through him, but it has been a different kind of game for John Casey to face here.
Yeah, it sure has, and it's a 1-goal differential now. 5-4.
Nice dump by Brian McReynolds, and you can see that it turned into a knuckleball. It changed directions. Casey had a bead on it, but then he got confused, and that maybe kind of had eyes and got through him, but it has been a different kind of game for John Casey to face here.
Yeah, it sure has, and it's a 1-goal differential now. 5-4. 14:58 to go. Plenty of time here in this third period. Murray's shot deflected off the blocker of Stauber. Boston came back the last time. LA got it to 1 and scored within 10 seconds. Zhitnik drops it off. Conacher, McSorley, Featherstone had it. Picked up by Joseph Stumple. Stumple moves into Murray. Blocked. Good play made by Zhitnik, who's played a strong game. Stumple can't get it. McSorley does. McSorley. Hughes intercepts. Brent Hughes, who's got a goal, ships that one into the seats. 28-25 the shots in favor of Boston. Boston's lead 5-4. The Bruins have had a 2-goal lead twice. LA's come back now to make it a 1-goal differential again. Another one of those numbers, Bill, is just kind of fun to look at. I'm never sure if it means much. We were talking this morning about it. Boston against teams below 500 are 22-6. When you talk about winning games you're supposed to win, Boston has done that about as well as you can do it. Look at that.
Right.
Teams over 500, 11-16.
And you know what? The 2 games that they lost were against the Philadelphia Flyers, who are now below 500, but weren't when they lost those games to them.
It's kind of a crazy number, right? Sweeney tipped away to Gretzky. Gretzky back in for Blake. Gretzky's had assists tonight, no goal. Jari Kurri. Kurri got dumped by Bourque. And a penalty coming up. Ray Bourque, he knew it. He got the stick into the skates of Jari Kurri. No argument by the captain. He will head to the penalty box, and Los Angeles down by 1. We'll get a power play opportunity to try and tie this game up when we come back to the Garden.
Well, when Ray Bourque picks up a penalty, it has to have been a pretty good move, and it was a terrific move by Jari Kurri to slip it wide and then try to get around Ray Bourque.
The quintessential trip right there.
But now the Bruins are not only without the guy that wears the C, they're without their best penalty killer here.
Only 42 minutes in penalties this season for Ray Bourque. So the Los Angeles Kings have not been able to convert, have had only 4 shots on their power play chances. Could tie it up right here if they can get one. Gretzky's back at a point on the power play now. Now he moves up front. Jari Kurri moves back. Curry's open. Drops it off for Blake. Intercepted by Reed. Outstanding play by Reed. Stauber behind his own net, had Oates moving in. Poked away to center. Sweeney bats it up in the air. Adam Oates took it on the blade of the stick. Sweeney. And it's knocked down again by Blake at center. Lost it as Reed lost his stick. He pins up Wayne Gretzky, though. Harry Curry picks it up, but still the Kings are back in their own end here, working on this power play chance. Intercepted Smolinski, short-handed. Smolinski, the move, got hit. Taken out of the play by Zhitnik. Power play LA, knocked away again by Sweeney. Zhitnik picks it up. Curry back. Wayne Gretzky got tangled up with his own man, Marty McSorley, that time. McSorley's open. McSorley. Oh, did he get leveled by Sweeney? Sweeney decked him as he tried to make the move. What a play by Sweeney on the man. It's not easy to take down. Far side McSorley waiting for the Kings to clear.
Man, you know, the Bruins have really minimized the impact of Ray Bourque being in the penalty box by not allowing the Kings to set up in the zone. I mean, Ray Bourque is your most valuable guy when the power play is trying to work the puck down low. The Kings have not gotten it down low once.
Amazing. 24 left in this power play. Featherstone around. Donnelly there. Donnelly Black. Sador's alone. Sador deflected in front, but not on net. Held in by Robitaille to Gretzky. Gretzky comes in front. It bounced on him, and he never got the shot off. And you see the time remaining on the power play chance. Los Angeles, this has killed them tonight, not being able to convert on the power play. Adam Oates, short-handed, missed it, and the penalty's over. Back to even strength, and the Kings 0 for 5 on the power play now. The last goal, Shuchuk at 5:01. Oates drops it. Kartalnov with Neely. Neely lost it along the boards. Robert Long near side Robitaille. Ray Bourque back out. Dropped it back. Ray Bourque was there. Bourque cleared it out. Kartalnov 3-on-2. Oates, Neely. Neely in the middle. Neely, the shot. Save made by Stauber. LA's last goal, Shuchuk's third of the year, from McReynolds and Donnelly at 5:01. Neely, who has one, is denied by Stauber. Stauber went down, blocked it. Neely went over the pad. Robitaille intercepted Sweeney. Over to Neely again. Neely coming. Neely waiting. Neely pass blocked by Stauber. Centered. Oates. Save made and kicked away by McReynolds. It went behind Stauber, but McReynolds found the loose puck. Packed. Full house at the Garden, standing and applauding the Bruins. Still a one-goal game. Cleared, not out. Stumple centered. Swept away. Nobody can control. Reichel along the near side boards. Doesn't get it out. Brent Hughes held it in. Zhitnik. Murray all over him. Zhitnik. Brent Hughes. Hughes drops it. Shot. Stumble. Score!
The Bruins turned their kids loose on the Kings, and boy, what a job they did. Joseph Stumble with a turnaround shot that looks like it goes in off of Tim Waters' skate. He had Glenn Murray waiting for the pass. Waters was trying to take Murray, and Stumble just wanted to get it to the cage. Off the right skate of Tim Waters and behind Rob Stauber. But the genius on that last 30 seconds was not the shot by Stumble. It was the bumping, the grinding, the tenacious forechecking. They just wouldn't let the Kings come up for air.
Bill, that's what playing hockey in Boston's all about, the last 2 minutes, where the crowd is up and standing. The Boston kids are on the ice doing things they're not supposed to be able to do.
Yep.
That's what it's about here.
And, you know, when this game is sort of appeared to be on the line is when the Bruins have stepped it up. The shift before these guys, Cam Neely came out and just about got one himself. Adam Oates as well as Dmitry Kvartalnov, the three of them were all over. This is Neely going wide here and trying a shot between Stauber's legs, picking it back up, centering it back out to Adam Oates. So it was one wave after the other. First the Oates line, and then the line of Murray and Stumple.
There is the man who's writing a great story this season. Cam Neely, coming off 2 years where he hardly played at all. Now leading the National Hockey League goal scorers. He's picked up his 47th tonight.
22 games is all he played in 2 years after scoring back-to-back 50-goal seasons. He'll get 50 again this year.
9:35. Stumple 7th of the year. Hughes does get an assist on the even strength goal. 10 goals up on the board. Only one power play goal picked up by Boston's Kartalnov. The rest even strength. 10:06 to go. There's still plenty of time in this game for anything. Stanton goes back to get it, touches up the icing call on the Kings. McSorley and Featherstone.
Marty McSorley has been a busy man for the LA Kings. He has played some D. He's also played at right wing. He was in a fight earlier in the game. This just happened. Number 6, Glenn Featherstone, tried to screen him out. McSorley punched him twice from behind, and Featherstone stopped and said, "I'll take you on." Featherstone's a big guy. Look what the little guy did to Marty McSorley. That's Don Sweeney about 10 minutes ago. Just leveled Marty.
What a season Sweeney's having. Featherstone shot. Save made. Stauber. Deep rebound to Reichel. Again, the Bruins for the third time in the game have a 2-goal lead. Reichel sends it in wide of the net at Conacher cutting. Joey Juneau comes back to get it. Reichel steps up. Kings with a 9:44 to go. Their defenseman will pinch a little bit now. Smolinski jamming in the corner. Conacher centered Reichel. Back for Conacher. Conacher looking in the middle. Centered. McSorley was there. Tipped it. It went wide. And Casey finally finds it. And now Stanton and McSorley side of the net. McSorley trying to stir it up here. 9:31 left to go. Bumping and grinding. Friday night is National Hockey Night on ESPN, and we'll have the Flyers and Capitals at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific. Eric Lindros and the Flyers very much within striking distance of a playoff spot. One of the spots they'd like to get is now owned by the Washington Capitals. There you see the standings. See, the Caps are 7th with 68 points. Philadelphia would be in right now, 62, tied with Florida. Tomorrow night, Washington and Philadelphia.
Ryan Sutter's got him where he wants them now. 6-4 lead down to 9:31 to go. With a 2-goal lead, the Bruins should be in the driver's seat. I mean, the only thing the Bruins have to worry about is their own play right now. If they play it smart, play it tight, don't gamble, don't give Wayne any room. This is their baby right here. This is their 2 points.
Casey in net, looking for the win to keep his 9-0-2 streak alive. He's only given up 4 goals 6 times this year. The last time was January 6 against Winnipeg in a 5-4 win. LA has done that, but they've not been able to hold it down. Deflected in front, and Gretzky's pass. Bork was there. Tied up. Gretzky centered. Yari Curry was right there, but he couldn't get the shot on net. Ray Bork over to Neely. Cam Neely pinned up by Zhitnik. Oates sends it in. Delayed offside call. Boston clears the zone. Rob Blake in the middle for Curry. Bork stepped up. Curry back. See the short advantage. Kartalnov looking for the hat trick. Deflected. Zhitnik takes him down. Hauled him down. Fans want to call. Won't get it. Neely held it in. Adam Oates couldn't control. Ray Bork. Boston tried to change. Featherstone came on the ice. And Bork had to play the puck, so he raced back to the bench. Fortunately, Boston wasn't involved in the play, and they let it go with too many. Harry Curry flipping it out of the zone. Gordy Roberts will go back. The Kings change. 34-26 the shots in favor of Boston. The Kings give up 37 shots a game, the highest in the National Hockey League against the Boston Bruins team that's right up there at the top, picking up shots. So they're getting that part done tonight, and they're making it pay off. Robert Long tipped it in by Featherstone. Gordy Roberts goes back to get it. Josef Stumple. Murray on the right. Stumple waiting for help. Featherstone there. Brent Hughes, he's got a goal. Trying to put it in front, does, and it ends up bouncing in on Stauber. Boy, we have had a ton of chances like that where the puck's just bouncing around because Los Angeles lets the Bruins players skate right to their goaltender standing up.
I found that the puck has bounced quite a bit in general tonight, and not only that, there have been so many shots over the net. Brent Hughes lost it, and at the last moment just tried to dump it in front. Kings have pretty good protection right here in front of Rob Stauber, but the Bruins were allowed to cross the blue line and stand there and actually make a play. I thought Stumble, when he had it at the blue line, had to get it in deep, but he was given so much time that he was able to do whatever he wanted with it. The Kings are going to have to try to pressure the Bruins before they get into their zone, because once they get into the zone, the Bruins, as they've shown in the last 5 minutes, they pose a big problem.
They really do buzz around the net. Smolinski won that last face-off. Charlie Huddy goes back behind the net for it. Huddy clears it around the boards. Down to 7:40 left to go here in the third period. John Druce, Casey, they makes the easy save. Stumple trying to get it out, and it deflects, and that'll come back to center at the other end for the faceoff. Budweiser bringing you our out-of-town scoreboard, and look at the comeback by the Devils. They were down 3-1.
Sure were. Boy, the Tampa Bay Lightning really need the points for a playoff spot. Chicago leading Calgary 3-2 in their tilt. And Vancouver opening up a 2-0 lead over St. Louis, a team that was kind of blasted by their own Brett Hull the other day. He said, we don't have the horses, we don't have the players, and there's nothing we can do about it. He said it's up to our president Jack Quinn and our general manager Ron Caron to get us some players, because right now we do not have the horses.
You can bet they did. Upper management did not want to hear that in St. Louis.
I don't think anybody wanted to hear it.
Wow.
I mean, Brett has to understand that he's on the same team as Jack Quinn and Ron Caron, and if he's got a beef, and if he's got the guts, he can walk into Jack Quinn's office, the president of the team, and tell him face to face, but nobody needs to read that in the newspaper. And I love Brett Hull, but that was wrong.
Inside, save made by Casey. Shot by Zhitnik, deflected into the corner. Donnelly's back to get it. Kings putting the heat on here. Donnelly tied up by Jamie Huscroft. Casey clears it up near side and not out of the zone. Zhitnik shot blocked. Shot that right into Ted Donato. Rob Blake goes back to get it. McReynolds moving in. McReynolds first goal, didn't get it. Donnelly fanned on the rebound. Puck was real close to him. That was a big chance. Joey Juneau with Donato. Boston changing behind the play. Juneau stood up by Zhitnik. Still controls it. Still controls it as McReynolds hit him. Juneau playing it tough. The RPI grab. Will come back to center.
Nice clinic by Joey Juneau. He didn't have anybody wide open to pass to, and rather than make a low percentage play, you got a 2-goal lead. Eat up the clock.
Cam Neely back out on the ice. So is Gretzky. That means Bork's there too. Oates. Neely for his second of the game. Off the blocker. Waffled in. Good play by Stauber. Gretzky in the corner. Can't control. Gretzky flings it over to Jari Kurri. Kurri offside. Gretzky. Jari Kurri dingled and dangled along the line, and Gretzky moved in ahead of him.
Well, the LA Kings over the years have had more trouble winning in Boston Garden than any other building, and it hasn't been all that great for Wayne Gretzky either. They have done a good job of Wayne tonight, and as a result, he still trails Gordie Howe by 3 goals. Gordie with 801 career goals, and Wayne coming into tonight's action after scoring one last night in Hartford with 798 goals. When the Kings have had chances that are clear-cut chances, John Casey has made some pretty good saves. Some weird shots have gotten by him, but anything that he's been able to make a solid save on, he's been able to get in front of. It's the knuckleballs and the squibbers and the end-over-enders that have handcuffed him.
Boston getting the last goal to increase their lead to 2. Stumble 7th. Kartalnov, Neely, Smolinski, Kartalnov again, Hughes and Stumple in that order for Boston. Conacher, Ward, Jari Kurri and Shuchuk had scored for the Los Angeles Kings. Cam Neely back for Adam Oates. Charlie Huddy into the zone. Sweeney's there. Sweeney has been praised by many as second only to Ray Bourque on defense, not only for the Boston Bruins but maybe in the conference. He's had a great year teaming up with Bourque as the defensive pairing.
Boy, does he make up for what he gives away in size with his quickness and with his reading of the play.
Gretzky behind the net. Kurri and Ward in front. Gretzky waiting. Dumped it. It's loose. Boston just stayed back and jammed it up. Sweeney brings it out. 3-on-2 to Neely. Neely the shot. That hits Sweeney and Sador. Shot centered. Jari Kurri there. Kurri trying to clear. Knocked down by Adam Oates. And Oates will take it back in his own end. 5:09 to go. Third period. Let's go! Boston Bruins leading 6-4. Trying to sweep the 2 games against Los Angeles. Having won in overtime there. Boston trying to keep their 3-0-1 mark alive as well. This will be an icing call on the touch-up by Paul Stanton. ESPN2's Fire on Ice. The Garden in Boston. That's the time remaining in regulation. The Bees up by 2.
Crack open a smoother, better draft. Ice Draft from Budweiser. It's ice brewed, chilled below freezing, then cold filtered. From now on, a cold draft just isn't cool enough. Ask for Ice Draft, only from Budweiser.
Wayne Gretzky, 798 goals. Yari Curry has assisted on more of them than anyone, 193. Dwayne Ward on the left has assisted in the fewest, 1. Last night, first time he'd ever assisted on Wayne Gretzky goal. And they were nice enough to sit together on the bench so we could show you the two of them. Brought up by Zhitnik, 6-4 here. Gretzky has not had one tonight. And they're offside again. Boston's lining up on the blue line has killed the Kings. Our storyline tonight, Gretzky, you see, the time played, only the assists, Neely 1 and 2. Kartalnov looking for the hat trick, and Bork, lots of ice time and 3 assists.
Adam Oates and Cam Neely, along with Dmitry Kartalnov, have had 13 shifts against Wayne Gretzky's line at even strength. So Brian Sutter has matched strength against strength, and they've done a pretty good job. I mean, a real good job. I can't help but give them credit without mentioning Ray Bork behind them. I mean, besides Adam Oates being out there, Ray Bork is the guy in the Bruins end that takes care of business. Sure, Adam Oates and Cam Neely can cause a lot of problems in the Kings zone, but give Ray Bork full marks.
He is flooded again, deflected wide. Brent Hughes. Zhitnik picks it up. Good chance right there. Went high over Stauber's head. Blake near side. Reichel takes a whack at Murray, who held him up coming into the zone. The kind of play we had heard was going to be called more of. They did for about a week, and now I think it's gone away.
I've seen 2 blatant stick holds in this third period not called.
In the corner, McSorley. McSorley trying to center in front at Conacher down low. Stanton clears it out. And they will call icing on the Bruins on the touch-up with Blake going back to get it, stopping the clock. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left in the third period. Oftentimes you can tell what the break line is for a team. Well, for the Los Angeles Kings, mercy. Do they ever have one? If they can get 5 goals or more, you can see what they do. But they rely on offense. And when they score 4 or less, 6 wins.
What is so interesting about these numbers, Gary, is that those numbers of 6-30-8 and 15-3-1 would be about the same for most teams, but not with the difference between scoring 4 and 5. For almost everybody in the league, because they're a little better defensively than LA, that difference is between scoring 3 and 4. But with the LA Kings, it's 4 and 5.
They up it a notch because they so much rely on offense. Roberts in front of his own goaltender. Sador's got some room, takes the shot, deflected. Drews can't get it. Robert Long knocked it away. Ray Bork clears it out. And even in a tight situation, you see what Bork does. Instead of stopping the clock with an icing, he gets it out off the boards, keep the clock running. Just to Boston's advantage here with 3:27 left. Sador's got it. Ray Bork win the Norris Trophy again this season. Certainly has got a shot at it. Number 1 defenseman in the National Hockey League. He has won it 4 times previously.
He should win it. He deserves it. He's leading all defensemen in scoring. He is leading the NHL in shots on goal. They don't track ice time, but I'd put my money that he's leading the NHL in ice time too.
Playing all those minutes. Maybe his best year. 15 seasons in the National Hockey League. And he's signed long-term here with Boston and couldn't be happier about it. He'll play all of his career here in Boston. It looks right now. Oates to Neely. Cam Neely down the middle. Gretzky took him out of the play. Kings need one to get back to within 1. Zhitnik. Robitaille in the middle. Zhitnik the move. Zhitnik stopped. Yari Curry following Gretzky. Shot. Save made by Casey, trying to pin it up, and does on the post. Coming up next here on ESPN2, it's Talk 2, and your opportunity to call in and talk as Mitch Richmond played in the All-Star game this season. He's with Sacramento. He will be the special guest tonight on Talk 2. That's next, right here on the Deuce. 6-4, Boston up. 1 assist for Wayne Gretzky tonight. They'll stay here in Boston for a couple of days in practice before moving on to play their next game in Chicago.
You can imagine that Wayne is a little low on fuel right now, having played a whole bunch last night and also playing a lot tonight. He's trailed the play up the ice more times than he has led the play up the ice in the last half of this tilt.
Reed had it knocked away. Blake shot right through everybody. Cam Neely on the near side. 2:26 left. Down for Sweeney. Sweeney. Reed. Reed moves up on this line with Oates and Neely when they need defense. Kartalnov will play if they need offense. Brian Sutter changes the wing depending on what he needs. He wants defense now, so he's got Reed out there with Neely and Oates.
He allowed Kartalnov to play 3 shifts with that line in this period. As long as there was a 2-goal lead, he kept going back with him. I mean, Brian Sutter is a player's coach. If you work hard for him and produce for him, he'll go with you. And Kvartalnov is looking for the hat trick. Guarantee you Brian Sutter is aware of that.
And he'll have him out there to give him a chance with 1:57 left to go. 35-30 of the shots in favor of the Boston Bruins. And John Casey's 9-0-2 mark is getting close to 10-0-2. As he's made some big saves in this one, but more the team in front of him tonight.
I'd be really interested in an answer to the question, what kind of game do you think you had, John? I wonder what he thinks about what kind of game he's played. There are some funny shots that have gotten by him.
Yeah.
He would say, well, it's kind of weird out there.
Thank God for the guys in front of me tonight. This is one of the rare nights where you see the team has actually made the big plays in front of the goaltender rather than the goaltender making the big plays at certain points of the game for the team. Joseph Stumple on this face-off, won it back to Paul Stanton. Stanton shot, saves Stauber, rebound Hughes, shot blocked, rebounds Stumple wide. Stumple, Murray, Hughes, and it's blocked again by Sador. John Druce in along the trailer. Play by Stanton to take Druce out of the play. Boston's not missed the check here tonight. Cleared out. Empty net at the other end with 1:30 left to go. The Kings are going after the points. Icing call. Well, they will get the face-off in the Boston zone.
Well, Wayne Gretzky is down to 1:28 to go here to try and get his team closer and to try and draw within 2 goals of Gordie Howe's all-time record in a personal sense. Here's what he has done tonight so far. Played 21 minutes and 15 seconds, and that right now is out of 58 minutes. Wayne has played far more than that in his career and played more than that last night in Hartford. 18 shifts, 13 of those were against the Adam Oates line. 2 shots on goal, 1 assist, only 1 scoring chance, and to me, that is the definitive statistic on this hockey game, the job that Ray Bourque has done when Wayne Gretzky has been on the ice. Only 1 scoring chance for Wayne here tonight.
I thought one of the great figures I heard today regarding Gretzky and Gordie Howe. Shot deflected. Ray Bourque, empty net at the other end, dished it off. They talk about the difference in time with Howe playing when there were only 6 teams and maybe better play and it was tough to score and all that. One number that kind of evens that up. Gordie Howe best season in goals was 49. Gretzky centered, tipped wide. Wayne Gretzky's best season in goals was 92. In each case, they equaled the same percentage of goals for their respective teams in that year, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is.
But that would have worked out that way for both of them in different eras. Blake goes back to get it. Sweeney lets it go. Casey, 44 seconds left to go here in the 3rd period. The Boston Bruins about to sweep Los Angeles in the 2 games they play this year. Barring a big breakdown, he tried to feed it to Neely. Blake will go back to get it. John Casey's going to get the victory in net and go 25-8-7 on the season. And 10-0-2 in his last 12 games. Hasn't lost since the All-Star break. Reichel knocked down by Bourque. Comes to Adam Oates, empty net. Reed avoided Sador's check. Sador with the helmet wrapped around him the wrong way. Reed again. Adam Oates. Gretzky sends it up ice. Bourque knocked it away. That's appropriate. This game's history. The Boston Bruins have beaten the Los Angeles Kings 6-4.
And John Casey is still undefeated since the All-Star break. He is now 10-0-2 in his last 12 decisions.
Stauber, the loser, goes 3-7-4. And the Los Angeles Kings do not get vitally important points in their playoff race. The Boston Bruins do. We'll be back for more from the Garden. Our final score, as you take a look at Cam Neely, 6-4 Boston.